With which type of SQL Server recovery model are all database changes logged except those that cause large log entries? A. Differential recovery. B. Full recovery. C. Simple recovery. D. Bulk logged recovery. The correct answer is bulk logged recovery. Using SQL Server 2000, which of the following symbols is used to indicate parameters in stored procedures? A, B, C, D. The correct answer is what mode of authentication does SQL Server not provide? A. Windows only security. B. Both SQL Server and Windows only security. C. Mixed security. D. SQL Server only security. The correct answer is SQL Server only security. The strictest transaction isolation level provided by SQL Server is called A. Repeatable read. B. Serializable. C. Read committed. D. Read uncommitted. The correct answer is serializable. SQL Server program code that is executed instead of an SQL command that needs to be processed is called an A. Instead of trigger. B. Before trigger. C. After trigger. D. Begin trigger. The correct answer is instead of trigger. Which type of SQL Server cursor concurrency places an update lock on a row when the row is read? A. Read only. B. Scroll lock. C. Optimistic. D. Read committed. The correct answer is read committed. Which of the three possible types of triggers does SQL Server support? A. Instead of only. B. After only. C. Before only. D. Instead of and after only. The correct answer is instead of and after only. Which of the following is a way to create and modify tables using SQL Server? A. Write SQL code using either create or alter SQL statements only. B. Use the graphical facilities of SQL Server Enterprise Manager only. C. Both of the two methods above will work. D. Neither of the two methods above will work. The correct answer is both of the two methods above will work. With which type of SQL Server recovery model is no logging done? A. Differential recovery. B. Full recovery. C. Bulk logged recovery. D. Simple recovery. The correct answer is simple recovery. SQL Server 2000 stored procedures can A. Never be kept within the database. B. Be kept within the database and invoked by application programs. C. Be stored on the user's computer. D. Support before instead of and after types. The correct answer is be kept within the database and invoked by application programs. With this type of SQL Server cursor concurrency, no lock is obtained until the user updates the data. A. Read only. B. Scroll lock. C. Optimistic. D. Pessimistic. The correct answer is optimistic. An SQL Server 2000 language that adds programming elements like parameters, variables, if-while loops, and so forth to the basic capabilities of SQL is called A. COBOL. B. VBNet. C. Transact SQL. D. Visual Basic. The correct answer is Transact SQL. With this type of index, the data are stored in the bottom level of the index and in the same order as that index. A. Non-clustered. B. Clustered. C. Primary. D. Secondary. The correct answer is clustered. In SQL Server 2000, which of the following makes a copy of the changes that have been made to the database since the last complete backup? A. Complete backup. B. Transaction log. C. Differential backup. D. None of the above is correct. The correct answer is differential backup. With this type of index, the bottom level of an index does not contain data but rather it contains pointers to data. A. Non-clustered. B. Clustered. C. Primary. D. Secondary. The correct answer is non-clustered. With which type of SQL Server recovery model are all database changes logged? A. Differential recovery. B. Full recovery. C. Simple recovery. D. Bulk logged recovery. The correct answer is full recovery. SQL Server automatically creates an index on A. Primary keys only. B. Foreign key only. C. Both primary and foreign keys. D. SQL Server never automatically creates an index. The correct answer is both primary and foreign keys. Which of the following is not a factor in determining the concurrency control behavior of SQL Server? A. Lock level. B. Transaction isolation level. C. Cursor concurrency setting. D. Locking hints. The correct answer is lock level. SQL Server program code that is executed after an SQL command has been processed is called an A. Instead of trigger. B. Before trigger. C. After trigger. D. Begin trigger. The correct answer is after trigger. Which of the following refers to the SQL Server transaction isolation level which places and holds locks on all rows that are read? A. Repeatable read. B. Serializable. C. Read committed. D. Read uncommitted. The correct answer is repeatable read.